This is Ashwasiam. I'm a student who is undergoing the undergraduation course in Computer Science Engineering Artificial Intelligence Department in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering. Today, I'm going to provide you a presentation on what is a schema diagram, the various compositions of it, and the brief structure on what is a schema diagram and its attributes. First of all, what is a schema diagram? A schema diagram is a visual representation of a database schema that illustrates the structure and relationship between different data elements. It provides a clear overview of the organization of data, including tables, fields, and their connections. Importance of schema diagrams. There are three types of important attributes that needs to be understood in the schema diagrams. The first one comes the clarity in organization, improved communication, enhanced planning. In the clarity of organization, the schema diagram ensures that the organization and structure of data are easily understandable, facilitating efficient database management. Improved communication. They serve as a common reference point for developers, data analytics, and stakeholders, promoting effective collaboration. And the third one is the enhanced planning. By visualizing complex relational data, schema diagram aid in better planning and decision-making process. And next comes the components of the schema diagram. The first one comes the tables. A table represents entities or objects that are typically depicted as rectangles in the schema diagram. Relationships illustrate how the tables are connected through lines, depicting the associations and dependencies between them. Attributes detail the specific properties or characteristics of the elements within the database, often shown within the table. Okay, let us go to the example of a schema diagram. Here, through in this slide, we can observe that three different types of the diagrams which are being depicted to us, which are various in their ways. The first diagram or the first image, relate us that it represents a relational database schema. A relational database schema is a visual representation of tables, relationships, and attributes in a relational database schema. The second one, the second image represents the entity relationship diagram. This entity relationship diagram illustrates the entities and relationships in a database, providing a clear structure for data modeling. And now the third one comes the NoSQL database schema. An example of a schema diagram for a NoSQL database depicting its unique structure and relationship is being explained and represented in the above following picture. How to create a schema diagram. There are three main ways that needs to be must understood. While they must be they can be considered as an attributes or the things which must be needed to create a schema diagram. They are identify data elements, choose a suitable tool, define relationships. When we come to the identifying data elements, begin by identifying the entities, attributes, and the relationships between them that needed to be included in the schema diagram. The second one is to choose a suitable tool. Select an appropriate software for creating the schema diagram, such as ERD tools, NoSQL, data modeling platforms, or database design applications. Define relationships. Establish accurate relationship between entities, ensuring that the connections reflect the real-world associations in the data. Now in this slide we can go through the best practices for creating a schema diagram. The main three things which are or the practices that must be needed while creating a schema diagram are: the first comes the consistency. Ensure uniformly in how tables, relationships, and attributes are represented to maintain clarity across the schema diagram. Documentation. Accompany the schema diagram with comprehensive documentation to provide context and understanding of the data model. The feedback and iteration. Seek feedback from the stakeholders and incorporate interactively to accurately reflect the database structure. The common mistakes to avoid in schema diagram. Overcrowding. Avoid congestion the diagram with excessive elements which can lead to confusion and difficulty in interpreting the data. Oversimplification. Avoid oversimplifying the relationship and entities, as it may result in an incomplete, inaccurate portrayal of database structure. The lack of updates. Regularly update the schema diagram to reflect any change, ensuring that it stays aligned with the actual data model. Thus, okay, we come to the conclusions that from all the following slides, we been come to the process that how the schema diagram is created, what are the things, what are the process which needs to be continuously followed in the creation of a schema diagram, the characteristics of a schema diagram, and the attributes which are needed compulsory for creation of for the schema diagram, and the types of schema diagram, and etc. So from this, we can conclude that the schema diagrams play a vital role in database management, offering a visual roadmap to the complex relationships within a database structure. By adhering to best practices and avoiding common pitfalls, schema diagrams can effectively convey intricate data architectures for improved understanding and decision making. So from this presentation, I'm ending this presentation with a thank you note. Namaste.